What's up, Dinger Nation? My name is Ryan, and I am here with another Bible Dingers book review. Alright, so it is Christmas time, as you can see by my pagan tree here and my pagan red lights. And so, in honor of Christmas and its pagan origins, I am reading Holiday in the Feast by Nick Campbell. Now, a precursor to this book review, if you order this book, it is not going to be on 8.5 by 11, crudely printed with a poor homemade binding here. Nick Campbell is a friend of the show, and so he did offer us to read the book before it came out. So what do you know, we're obviously special people with some tight connections with the in crowd. So first, what is this book about? So obviously I was joking about the pagan tree and pagan lights. This book is actually a defense, in a way, of celebrating certain holidays, specifically talking about Christmas for the most part, and then at the end of the book it goes over Easter as well, and it talks a little bit about some of the other biblical feasts that we see in the Old Testament, and things like Hanukkah, Passover, things like that. And so this gives a history and some of the roots of these celebrations. Now, what I really liked about it was how educational it was. There was interesting facts all over the book that I had no idea about. A lot of history goes into this book. Another thing is Nick is really sincere in this book. His sincerity is top-notch, especially with his own presuppositions and the presuppositions of others. He really expounds on that and gives reasons why we should think certain ways about certain arguments. And thirdly, what I really liked about this book was the explanatory graphics that he includes in this book. Let me see if I can give you an example here. So you can see right here, he has certain graphics that have timelines of these historical events. So you can sort of see it in context, and it's not just in paragraph form. It gives you a visual aid so you can really visualize the events that he's talking about. Now the hard part, which is what I disliked about this book. For the most part, I actually really liked this book. There was one thing that is a minor gripe, I suppose you could say, and that is I sort of wish that it did have a conclusive chapter at the end. The final chapter is a chapter about Easter and a defense of celebrating Easter, and it sort of concludes with a defense for the celebration of Easter, while the entirety of the book is sort of a defense of not only Easter but also Christmas and other things. So I kind of wish that there was a concluding, at least paragraph, sort of summarizing up all of the arguments and how we should proceed with this new information. Next is my favorite quote, and that comes from page 20, very early on in the book. And it says, "May we never become legalistic by enforcing our conscience onto others in regards to these issues, especially given that the New Testament authors wrote to this particular topic in the early church when divides were more strenuous between Jews and Gentiles." So this is an important thing to note. It's very easy for Christians to slip into legalism or Phariseeism, especially when it comes to things like celebrating holidays. I like that he makes that plain and clear for everyone who's reading this at the very beginning of the book. My difficulty rating for this book is medium. It's not easy, it's not hard. There is a lot of in-depth historical study, so if you have sort of an introductory knowledge of church history, that will help you. Also, there are certain parts of the book where he really gets deep into some of the Greek terms that are used in the New Testament, and so that might take a little bit of rereading when you're going through that section. And finally, my ding rating for Holidays in the Feast by Nick Campbell, that is going to be a solid 3.8 out of 5. 3.8, really good score. I really enjoyed this book. It was a pleasant surprise, and I was sort of feeling festive, with Christmas going on, and so I actually really enjoyed powering through this. It only took me a couple hours, and I would definitely read it again next Christmas.